Zappa, and I was a huge Zappa fan at that point, and I had all of his records, and I'd seen him play in Syracuse with the Mothers. So I instantly bought this double album. And this is where I really got sucked into the Beefheart World, because it was so intriguing with the lyrics that came with the record. They seemed beautiful and poetic and elusive and just completely different than anything I'd seen that was at all in the realm of rock lyrics or poetry. It was just in a class by itself. And the music, again, my first listen, it was like maybe a lot of it is improvised and random, because it was throwing off a lot of energy like that and a lot of discordant notes and beautiful dissonance, but discordant. And then after a couple listens, I realized there were patterns in each song that were being repeated so precisely as to approach modern classical music really on that level. I mean, it was just flawlessly executed and rehearsed. So I grew to love this record, and the following year another record came out called Lick My Decals Off, Baby. And that was $1.97 within about 2 weeks. So I got a copy of that. I showed the lyric sheet to a professor of mine up at Yale University where I was a student, a guy named Jerzy Kosinski, who wrote a book called Being There, the film with Peter Sellers, and he was pretty heavyweight literati, and he looked at the lyric sheet to this, and then he said, "This man is a very sophisticated lyricist." So I thought that was pretty good, testimony to the genius of Van Vliet. And then I saw an announcement in the paper, he's making a first appearance ever in New York City. And I went down with my buddies, we drove down to New York City, and we saw a show, and this is now, I think, January, February '71. And it changed my life, ultimately, totally. I'd never heard music played with such ferocity and intensity and so beautifully before, and the whole aura around the band was very seductive to me. I mean, each member seemed like a mythological creature, out of some sort of fantastic carnival. And Don was the ringmaster in the center of this maelstrom, conducting this and sculpting the energy, and the beauty and the wit and the humor, it all came across in the show. And I made a little promise to myself that night. I said, if I ever do anything in music, I want to play with this guy. That's true, I vowed to myself. And eventually I did, have my way. It took a long time and a lot of energy on my part and pursuit of my dream, but I recorded and then went on tour with him and ultimately managed him, and that's another story. But I just want to say that knowing Don the way I did, and he changed my life, certainly I'd say for the better, and I'm just honored again to be here to be able to celebrate various aspects of his brilliance. Certainly, he's one of the most total artists I ever met, who was a genius not only in music, but in the field of art and painting and poetry. I mean, he was really gifted, and we're lucky to know him while he was here. So I'm going to start the symposium now with a series of clips illustrating various aspects of Don's career. And okay, I'll do a little commentary too while they play, and okay, here we go.